Hello, social problems people. This is my last video of the day. Um, so for most of my online classes, I'm not the type of instructor that does a PowerPoint and goes through it all. This is my second year here at INEO, and for the first year, I did a lot of that. And the consensus is that if you're taking an online class, you don't always have time to sit there and listen to the instructor do a PowerPoint video. And I have a whole lot of classes. So if it's not going to be beneficial, there's really not a reason for me to do it. So what I do now is I give weekly, bi-weekly updates. Since this is a 16-week class, I might not do it every single week. This is the first time I have taught this class in an online format. So I'm going to also say that I have restructured it to turn it into an online class. That being said, if we have issues going along the way and I want to like move something around, I might do that. But like I say in the syllabus, I make sure that I give you guys a heads up and it's not going to like you'll come into one week and it's due. Oh, you got to do this the next few days. I don't do that. You'll know ahead of time before anything is due. I think this class, it's called Social Problems. It can be sometimes a lot. I am the type of person, I don't know, I just feel a lot, and this subject matter is very heavy at sometimes. It seems like when you get to the point where we do a project at the end, you're writing a paper about a social problem of your choice. But for me, when I had to sit down and read all those research papers, they were amazing. They did a great job writing them, but it's social problem after social problem after social problem. And there's a lot of crap in the world. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. So I'm going to say that I think this is a really good format. I think it's going to be good. Like I said, if you're the type of person that things can get a little bit heavy, every once in a while you might do your, read the chapter or read the PowerPoint or do something. You're going, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Just know that the goal of this is to not only make us, we're all aware of these chapters that have so many things going on, so many people, and not just the United States, but in the world have these issues. And the goal is to try to look at these issues and think of ways that maybe in the future they can be alleviated, or we can help people that are in this type of situation. And this class, I know it was put online to help those who want to get that psychology, sociology degree, and they want to do it completely online. And I think it's a great format to do it in. It's also one of the requirements for people who are doing social work as an option. So yeah, and like I said, it can get really heavy. So I'm going to try to in terms of like the discussion boards, I think I'm going to try to, yeah, we'll talk about those problems. Maybe we're going to look at some solutions that we might think of that will help us not feel so depressed about the situations. Yeah, so it's going to be like, yeah, I'm a planner, but certain things I might just say, okay, we're going to do this instead. So buckle up, we're going to do this. And I say this in all of my classes, that you're in college. The goal is to get, hopefully to pass college, to get good grades in college. I'm also going to say that yes, it's a 16-week format. So it's not like those 8 weeks where it's like, oh my gosh, you got to hold on and go for it. You have time to do each of these assignments to the best of your ability, and don't shoot for a D. For goodness sakes, do not shoot for a D, because you know what? That means this course that you take for 16 weeks will not count. So don't shoot for a D. Shoot for something. Hopefully you guys are in a 200 level class. By now you're getting to the point where, you're almost ready to graduate and transfer out to a university or go out into the workforce. Don't have that mentality that, you know what? If I don't do so well, I don't do so well. Don't do that. Okay, so this I'm going to move along quickly. I'm going to share my screen really quick. I've got this on, hopefully, yes, this is what it looks like for you, hopefully. Yeah. So these are, if you haven't had an online class before, or you've had some type of class, if you're in a 200 level class. So these are, this is Canvas. This is how you maneuver things over here on the side. This is our welcome to social problems. Yay! This is our syllabus. You can also go over here and get our syllabus. And I am just going to run through this very quickly today. And like I said, I'm not going to be popping on with these videos all the time, but if there's a week that I think maybe there's some that needs more explanation, I will definitely pop on here and let you guys know what's going on. This is a 3-hour course. It's totally online. My name is Brenda Adams, by the way, if I didn't introduce myself. Like I said, I've done quite a few videos today. I'm an LMSW. That just means I'm a licensed master social worker. Before I taught at NEO, I was counseling children in elementary school. And I love working with children. But this last year has shown me that I also love teaching college students. You guys have the possibility, the capability that a lot of times children who are in situations where they need counseling, whether it's a social worker, psychology, whatever, they don't always have the ability, even if we give them tools, to change a lot of things. They're still under someone else's care. Someone still is telling them what to do. You guys are in college and you have the ability to do, whatever you want. I love that fact. I love that you guys are, whether you're a non-traditional student or you're somebody straight out of high school or you're a concurrent student, you have so many possibilities. And I love that fact. I love a college campus. I love the possibilities. So that being said, this is what I'm doing now. These are my office hours. I'm here way more than this, but this is for sure the times that you will be able to see me in my office that I'm not teaching a class. This is the course description. Yeah, it's basically social problems. We're going to analyze them. We're going to talk about different ones. We're going to explain how they affect both us as individuals and people in our families, in our communities, and globally. We're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses of some of the solutions for these social problems, which I think helps a lot. And we're going to look at social research perspectives and theories. So if you've had, most of you, I'm sure, have had some type of sociology, psychology. You've talked about theories. That's what we're going to be looking at. This is the required textbook for this class, and you can get it through Cengage, so you can get it on Red Shelf. If you have other classes, it will be on there with them. Oh gosh, that is not true. That is something that we're not doing. I will need to take that out. If I forget to take it out, which I totally might do. We don't need Scantrons. This was when we were in class, and that was a nightmare anyway. So you will also need, in this spot, I'm going to say you will need a computer that's capable of downloading Responda's lockdown browser. That's how we're going to take our exams. I'm required to have a certain amount of exams that have that on there. I found that it's just easier to do all of them, because once you get it on there and you know what's going on, it's much easier to do it on all of them rather than just slapping it on the final and people freaking out. We also now, academic tutoring, we have that on the second floor in a library administration building if you are here on campus or if you're near. We also have the capability that we're doing tutor.com. You can go and in the Start Here module on our page, you will be able to see how to get to that. You can get tutoring for this class. I don't know that you'll need it for this class, but you also have the capability of doing it for many other classes also. So that's awesome. I always needed it for math. Our library services, you can go to our homepage and get on that. Communications, I usually, if you email me, I'm pretty quick unless I'm in class about answering your questions. If for some reason I haven't answered you in 24 and 36 hours, email me again because something's happened and it's gotten lost. We are on 1,000-point grading scale. Like I said, don't shoot for that D. It is totally doable to get a really fantastic grade in this class, and that's what I want you guys to do. This is the course measurements. This is how it's laid out. I've kind of restructured this a little bit. We only have a couple exams, so there you go. That's usually one in the middle, and then I think one close to the final. I think it is the final. We have 4 assignments. I've broken that down into 4 that are 50 points each. They're not huge, but they're going to be relevant to what we were discussing. The social problems project, I'll explain more about this in the presentation. We used to do this in class, but I'm going to try a different type of format so that we're able to have some type of presentation, and people can give you feedback on what you've done, because I think a lot of the times it's not always the most fun thing to do, but if you've done a project and you've got information and you've done the PowerPoint and whatever, you want people to see it and you want people to know that you've done it, and it's really beneficial and it goes a long way, especially for those of you that are going on to a university, to give you practice for that. We have a movie and a paper review that's really fun. I'll give you some different movies that I say fun, but obviously it's social problem movies. But some of them are not so depressing. And then we do reviews on that. Oh, we have 3 exams. So the final is 1 exam. We have 3 exams. The first 2 is like 1 at the first, 1 in the middle, and 1 at the end. We have discussion boards for this class where I'm required to do that for an online course. We have 10 of those. There's a rubric for the discussions. This talks a little bit about the social problems project. I kind of restructured that a little bit, but like I said, if I find out that I don't think it's going to work really well, I will totally let you know ahead of time. And we'll see how that goes. This is the date of our final exam. You must complete the final exam in that time. Late work, there's no reason you should ever have late work. Canvas is 24/7 tool. I get that people take online classes a lot of times because they're busy, they have families, they have work, whatever. Make sure you set aside time to get your assignments done so you don't have to worry about that. I reserve the right to change the assignments, like I said, especially with this class, because I've switched it from an in-person to an online, but I will not make any changes without letting you guys know ahead of time and making sure that you know when things are due. I'm not going to like pull the rug out from underneath you and say, oh, this is due. I don't do that. Make sure that you check in on the modules. You usually spend between 6 to 9 hours on an online class. Modules, the grade book is graded, you know, I keep it up. I'm pretty good about grading things on time. So you don't have to worry about it. This is kind of wonky. I redid some of this, so yeah, I'll fix that. And we don't have to wear fast masks because we're not even in person anymore. Okay, this thing, I also did not update this one yet. I've updated everything else except for this one. We just had it come through today that before today, we were not able to drop students from the class, but we now have the ability. So if you were getting to a point where you're not checking in, you're not doing assignments, and it's just like week after week, I have the ability to now drop you from the class, and believe it's a kindness if I drop you from the class rather than you get an F on the class. So just, you know what, I will email you first, but if it becomes a point where you're not doing your assignments, or you're half doing your assignments, and it gets to a point where I see that you are not able to pass this class, I'll let you know and I will drop you from the course. Do not wait till the last minute to respond to this, because like I said, make sure you have whether it's your friends, your partners, your moms, your dads, the public library, go somewhere that has a lockdown browser capability of Respondus, download it, get it done now, sooner rather than later, because you're going to have those 3 exams that are through Respondus. Like I said, I don't copy exams out off the website from the book or whatever. These are my exams. So you are going to be able to use your notes, take good notes from the PowerPoints from your book, and use your notes for the exam, and you will be totally fine. You don't have time to try to search for them online anyway. And if you have a lockdown browser, you can't do it. I don't know if I said it before, you don't have to have camera capability, because I think that's just creepy. I never liked that. But this is Respondus here, how you do it. If for some reason, I feel like I'm talking really quickly. If for some reason you were having issues, you can contact our IT department. So you go to the NEO homepage, you get contact IT, and they will walk you through it. I know it's a little bit different for if you have a Mac than if you have, what's the other one called? Windows or whatever the other one is. I have a Mac, and I know it's a little bit different, but they can walk you through that if this isn't explanatory. Extra credit, I sometimes, most of the time I offer it. Discussion boards. Yes, we have discussion boards. For you to get the full 10 points, 100 points over the entire semester, you need to follow this rubric. A rubric, hopefully you guys all know by now that a rubric, it's just kind of the guidelines on this is what you need to do. This is what I expect from you. And this is laid out so that you know what to do. 3 sentences on your initial post. If you don't give me what I need for those initial, then I'll count you off. Your response to another classmate, you get full points if you respond to them in a respectful manner, appropriate comments, not just I agree or I disagree, because that's not going to be it. No reply, you get a 0. I think discussion boards, I don't like discussion boards. I didn't like them as a student. I don't mind them as an instructor. But it is part of online courses, and I get that. And sometimes you feel like you're just jumping through the hoops. Hopefully you'll feel like maybe you're learning something from your other classmates. But if you're not, just jump through the hoops and get those 100 points, because you know what, it's going to affect your grade in the end if you don't follow the rubric and, get what you need to pass the class. If you have a disability or you need accessibility issues, services, whatever, we have Carla Murphy. She is up here in Shipley Hall. You can contact her, or you can stop in at her room, and she will definitely help you with that. Academic integrity is just basically don't plagiarize, don't use AI, for gosh sakes, don't use AI. On your projects, I will have a Turnitin on there, and it will tell me if you plagiarize anyway. So just, you know what, cite your work. That's all you need to do. If you use someone else's work, you cite it. Give them the credit. A 200 level class, I shouldn't expect that you are plagiarizing anyone. And if you go on to university, it's expected that you just don't have someone else do your work. You do it, you cite it, and you're good. Online course, just make sure you stay up to date on it. Don't wait till the last minute. Set aside time to do it. Our first initial discussion, because this is an online class, it is due by Wednesday, August 23rd. I said that 5 million times and I still can't remember the date. August 23rd, your initial discussion post, which is an introduction of yourself, is due so that I can prove that you're actually enrolled in my class. I have to turn that in, and then you can respond to someone else before 11:59 on Sunday. Those are, that's just what's required. You will also have another short little 5-point quiz on the Start Here module, but we'll look at that in a minute. This is just laid out every single week what I expect from you. Like I said, some of this might change a little bit, but I will definitely give you a heads up. Our final week is December 11th. So it'll be open from December 11th to the 13th, and you have to get it done by Wednesday night at 11:59. Yeah, and if for some reason I have something that pops up and I don't have it on here, you can definitely call me on it. Like I said, this class has been, they wanted to make it, an online course to give those people the opportunity to get those credits. But like I said, I'm adapting it. So let's, we'll work together. And if for some reason something doesn't look right, just let me know and we'll work on that. So we're going to go back here really quickly. I just want to give you one more. So, oh, hold on. I want to go here. For this class, this little to-do thing, don't rely on that for this class. Canvas is very wonky, and if I'm working on something, it might say that you have something due when it's not due. Or if you just go off of this, you're not going to get all the information for the modules, because that's where I put all the information. This is like a thorn in every instructor's side. So for my class, just don't do it. Don't follow it. Go to the modules. Every single time you want to check in, go to the modules. That's where you're going to find what is going on. So for this class, understanding online etiquette, if you've never taken a class before, the student online learning orientation, introduction to Canvas, tutoring, that shows you how you can get on that tutor.com. The Respond is lockdown browser, the information's on there again. We have Cengage, which is where our book is located. You can get that through Red Shelf. And this is if it's your first online class. A lot of people do great in online classes. If you're a person that you're not for sure, or this is your first online class, read that and make sure, because sometimes it's a little bit of an adjustment period. This right here, your start here quiz. Oh, for this, it isn't open yet for you. So the start here quiz is on the first start here module. You're going to do that. It has 5 questions about everything, 5 different issues that are in this little start here module, just so that I know that you looked through it. They're not difficult questions, but you need to do that before. I'm going to leave student view here. Before you're able to get to our first module, that's a prerequisite for this first module. Once you do the start here quiz, this will open up and you'll do your first discussion board. And here is week 1. Each week, I will have this. Sometimes it'll be more, sometimes it'll be less. There's quite a bit right here right now, just to tell you what is going on this week, which isn't a whole lot. But once you do that, once you complete that week 1 module, you're finished for this week. There's another place you can get our syllabus. I try to make sure that it's accessible in many different places. I'll make sure that I publish this. Once you do the start here quiz, you'll be able to finish this one. The modules will open up every Monday. I'm not one of those instructors that opens everything up and says, go for it. For me, it's confusing as an instructor, so I don't do that. It's going to open up week by week. And it also, you get your work done when you're finished for that week. So all that being said, I will make sure that I fix those couple different things in the syllabus so you don't have questions about those. Also, when you want to contact me, you can go over to your left-hand side. You can contact me through the inbox. I also have my email on the home page. I also have it on the syllabus. There's never a reason not to have my email address if you need to contact me. And like I said, this first week, if you have issues, just let me know. Well, like I said, this is like, you guys are going to be my guinea pigs for the online social problems class, but I think it'll be totally fine. It's going to be great. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, and I think that's it. And I'll be popping in from time to time to let you know if there are important things going on. Make sure that you turn your notifications on so you can get our announcements if there are any. And if you do not hesitate to ask if you have any questions. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will have a great first week.